What's going on, y'all? Slow X Low, YouTube, Twitter, Low X Low. Man, I gotta talk about Boruto chapter 66, man. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. I have this video is gonna be a review, but I also have some things I want to discuss, some questions I want to ask people, get their opinion. I did show my phone and made two of my friends read it. So we'll go over their reactions as well. I mean, they're not here, but I'm gonna, tell you what they said. Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, chapter 66. Chapter is titled "Do or Die," bro. Kishimoto is bike, and he killing this shit, bro, on some real shit. He's killing this shit with the story, bro. So, just so y'all know, because I don't really do reviews like that, right? To set the scene for you, the last few chapters, essentially Kawaki wanted to leave the village because he knew Code was going to come looking, and Kawaki didn't believe that Naruto would be able to defeat Code. He didn't believe anybody in the village would be able to defeat Code, so his mindset was, all right, let me just go with Code and handle it from there. Code pulled up to the village. Kawaki goes and meets him, right? And then Boruto chases after him to try to stop him. Boruto starts using some of the karma power. He went into level 2 for a little bit and was able to fight a little bit, but eventually Momoshiki took over his body and started fucking shit up. And at the end of chapter 65, we see Kawaki regain his karma. So for this chapter, chapter 66, it's essentially Boroshiki versus Kawaki for a little bit. So the chapter starts off, actually starts off with a flashback to Amato. So that's how you know Kishimoto writing this shit, because he loves his flashback. So it starts off with a flashback. Amato pretty much telling Kawaki, like, yo, I can give you the karma back. The choice is up to you. It's in your hands. Blah, 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 blah. Pretty much telling him, hey, if you want the karma back, you can get it back. So Kawaki, and this shot is beautiful. The next page, this shot is beautiful. Kawaki shown with, I forget what kind of eye this is, but this is technically Jigen's eye, I think, or Ishiki's eye, because all of Kawaki's powers obviously come from Ishiki when it comes to the karma, but it is interesting. He's gaining access to the eye, so that's interesting. But it's a real beautiful shot, man. Very dramatic. Code, Shikamaru, and Naruto are all surprised, like, what the fuck is going on? Ada explains a little bit. Pretty much Amato, Ada saying that Amato put the new karma already in the arm that he gave Kawaki, and Kawaki pretty much willed it to be unlocked. And then they start mixing, like right into the mixing, for real, honestly. Even Boroshiki's kind of surprised that Amato was able to pull something off like this. Pretty shocking. But Naruto is... This shit's crazy, bro. All this shit is crazy. So they start mixing. And you see in the fight between Kawaki and Boroshiki, Kawaki is actually using ninja tactics. He's setting up the move for the next move. He's going through this fight because he can use the chakra rods that Ishiki could use. He could also use the big ass square blocks that Ishiki could use. That's crazy, right? Like I said, he got the eye, so he can shrink shit. He can bring stuff from the separate dimension that Ishiki has, which is crazy, right? So we see throughout this whole fight essentially what a ninja would do with that type of power. Ishiki does, when you watch Ishiki fight, he does a lot of just straight out raw input, trying to take you out as soon as possible. It seems Kawaki has a lot of respect for Boroshiki. So from what I'm seeing here, he's trying to use ninja tactics to essentially outwit Ishiki, outwit Borushiki, excuse me, and get the W that way. Now they go through their fighting, right? Essentially, the big play that Kawaki tries to do, he spawns like these pillars from the sky, and he shoots them at Borushiki. He makes Borushiki scram, right? But the whole time he's leading Borushiki into a trap where the big ass cubes, y'all know what I'm talking about, those big ass cubes come from the sky and almost crush this nigga Boruto on some real shit. But Boruto at first he starts dodging, right? And then it slows down for a little bit. This is a great slowdown in between the fight. And beautiful shots in the drawn out by I think it's Ikimoto who draws this. Beautiful shots. Ikimoto really took his time to slow down when needed, show the effects of the shot, and then also feel the temperature around the situation, right? Because Naruto, he's watching two of his sons fight. Code, he's watching a nigga who he never thought would have the karma again, and he's going crazy. Shikamaru, he's hostage, so that nigga is caught, right? But he's watching it too, so everybody's watching this fight, and everybody's kind of surprised. So it's good for the reader to gather those thoughts of what's going on, right? So we see after the first little squabble, we see Naruto yell out to Kawaki like, "Yo, what are you doing? Like, essentially, why are you fighting my son?" Right? Naruto's entering dad mode, which I respect. But at the same time, you know, he's the Hokage. He's not gonna do what's best for the village, and that's pretty much what Kawaki's telling him. Like, yo, you're not gonna do what needs to be done for the village. You're not strong enough to kill your son, so I'll do it for you, bro, because I love you and I respect you, bro, and I can't let you die like this, bro. So essentially that's what happens, right? Kawaki and Naruto has that conversation. Code's keeping an eye on what's going on, and then all you see is Borushiki come through the smoke. He forms the Rasengan, and Kawaki shrinks it. He didn't even have to absorb it with the karma, because he has the eye now. He can just shrink that shit. That's crazy. So they continue to fight. More ninja tactics. You got Kawaki using the fireball jutsu, but that gets absorbed. So then they go in a little bit of taijutsu bout, right? Fighting shuriken, all that jazz, you know. And then they pay homage to OG Naruto. They do the Rasengan. Kawaki's using his tech arm. He doesn't really have a special ability, which I think is kind of corny. Maybe they can develop something for him for that. But they're doing the ye old clash. Yeah, y'all know the clash, man. And that clash goes crazy, right? So now they're fighting, they're mixing again. They do the clash, and then they start fighting after that. And then let me just skip to, essentially, Kawaki started getting the upper hand on niggas. He hits Borushiki with 3 chakra rods straight in the shoulder. One in the shoulder, one in the hip, kind of midsection area, and one in his leg. Gets hacked. And then, right when Kawaki is about to deal the final blow, straight up, Naruto jumps in and saves Boruto. Boruto is about to get crushed by one of those blocks that Jigen can use. Naruto jumps right in and saves Boruto, which isn't surprising, but it shows the reader the mind state of Naruto and what he's going through right now. He doesn't want to see his son die. He doesn't want to see his other son kill his son. And ever since Naruto, he was ever since like when he was a young bull, he was one of the people who always believed like, yo, we should be able to work past all of this. essentially without fighting, without having to kill one another. So this goes against his ideology, seeing his two sons fight, period. You know, he doesn't want to see Boruto die. One could say, you know, that's the father that's in him, but to even build on top of that, that's just who he is as a person. You know, after he fought Pain, he was like, bro, I can't fuck with you ever again. I'll always hate you forever. But, you know, I don't know if I could complete my revenge on this, because I already know that revenge isn't the right thing that's needed. Naruto wanted a world where everybody can understand each other, and, you know, just as of right now, it's failing. Naruto failed. If we're gonna keep it 100, and if you ask me as to the reason why he failed, is I could argue the ninja world that he was trying to create wasn't inclusive enough, because we obviously have these Otsutsuki threats, and kind of the theme so far in Boruto is, yo, these are just threats, we gotta kill them, you know. So, which I always thought was kind of weird in a sense, but I like the payoff for it now, because in chapter 66 we're seeing, yeah, technically Boruto is an Otsutsuki. He's a incredible threat to the world, not even just to the village, to the world. But we're seeing Naruto like, yo, this is still my son, you know. And with that understanding of this Otsutsuki being is my son, I don't want him to die. I want to figure out what's going on. That's the catalyst. Here's what I think. I think this is the starting point. We're going to see like Naruto try to be more, how can I put this? More friendly to the Otsutsuki and their play. I think we're going to see a lot of that in the upcoming story. I wouldn't say in the next few chapters, but I think that's going to be a plot point for the future. Just because, I mean, if that's how Otsutsuki survive, right? They take over a host body and they become reborn in their body. So if Momoshiki is supposed to be reborn in Boruto, and Naruto's like, yo, I don't want Boruto gone, I can see them trying to do some type of, yo, what do you really want, Momoshiki, and going through that story. I don't think Momoshiki should be friends with these niggas. I think that would be corny. But I can see them at least trying to explore that route just to see what's going on with the Otsutsukis, and maybe in the future the Otsutsukis become allies. But I don't see if Momoshiki becomes an ally, it's corny and shit, and I'm putting it down on some real shit. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. You know, Naruto's obviously not in a correct mind space to be a Hokage. He's choosing being a dad first. And after Naruto saves Boruto, he turns to Kawaki. He says, bro, what are you doing? Are you really planning to kill him? And Kawaki's just like, bro, I gotta do what I gotta do. It's now or never. Borushiki, if Borushiki wins right now, he's taking over the world. Period. And Naruto's like, nah, we not doing that. That's my son. But Kawaki's like, bro, yeah, he's your son, but he's also a demon, bro, that wants to kill you, bro. Like, there's nothing I can do. Like, he's a demon. Kawaki knows that Boruto's a demon, and there's nothing that he can do to talk it out anymore. You know, the Byakugan pills partially worked. They didn't really work. They partially worked. Naruto's like, have you lost your mind? You're the one who's being a demon. Which is him kind of picking sides. But at the same time, I wouldn't call it picking sides, but more so like, bro, you're wild. Like, Naruto's trying to say, bro, you're wilding right now. But from Naruto's standpoint, like, while yes, he's wilding, I'm pretty sure Shikamaru in the background is taking a look at what's going on, and he's like, and he's probably listening to what Kawaki's saying, and deep down, Shikamaru's probably saying, nah, Kawaki's right. Because Kawaki didn't say nothing wrong here. It's like, yo, Lord Seventh. Kawaki said, yo, Lord Seventh, you're not strong enough. You're not strong enough to kill your own son. If your own son becomes a real threat to the world, you're not able to put him down. He's a real threat right now, and the only nigga who can stop him is me. Y'all seen what he was doing to Code. The only nigga in Boruto that's able to stop Borishiki is Kawaki. So he gotta do what he gotta do. Now, I think that's interesting just because we'll get into why this is all interesting in a little bit. Let me finish the chapter synopsis. Naruto and Kawaki yelling at each other again, and then Boruto regains consciousness. He regains who he is, right? And I like how they do it where Boruto like regains his consciousness, but he's kind of like, I don't know how to really explain it. He's kind of like, he's there, but Momoshiki is still there. And he's like, fuck. Momoshiki's like, fuck, man. This nigga's waking up, bro. I was about to turn up. So Boruto wakes up. He pushes his dad away, right? And Naruto's like, bro, thank God Boruto's back. This fighting can stop, bro. We can chill, bro. Ain't no need to see my two sons fight, right? And then Boruto goes through his own mental conversation with Momoshiki, talking about what the fuck is going on. And then Boruto essentially realizes what happened when Borishiki took over. He pretty much acknowledges that he almost killed his dad, and then he looked at Kawaki, and they had some sort of promise. Right? They do. Kishimoto does the flashback, says, I'll somehow get rid of your karma. I swear of it. And then Kawaki goes head right in front of Naruto, and you can see Naruto's face the whole time. It's such a beautiful build-up. Kawaki and Boruto are kind of talking in code, right? And Naruto's like, hold on. What the fuck are y'all talking about, bro? Y'all not finna do this, right? Boruto hits his own dad with the Wind-style Gale Palm just to push him away. And he says, I'm sorry, dad. Give my best to mom and Himawari, bro. And Naruto's like, yo, what the fuck is going on, bro? Y'all not finna do no dumb shit right now, bro. You can see Naruto's face. He's slowly like losing his mind, bro, because Naruto before would have had the power to stop this, but you can see on his face he's so powerless, and he hasn't been in a position like this ever since he was like a kid, bro. Think about it. He became the Nine Tails Jinchuriki, right? Whenever he needed help, sometimes the Nine Tails would like turn up and help him, i.e. Neji, i.e. When he needed to summon Gamabunta and shit like that, right? And then when he fully started controlling the Nine Tails chakra, he's always been tough. Like, he's always been in a situation where if he needs to, he can be fast enough to stop something. He can be strong enough to stop something. So to watch Naruto's face in these panels where it slowly goes from like, what the fuck is going on, confused. Well, really, it went from, oh my God, my son is okay, he's alive, and he's back to the living. Momoshiki's not taking over his body no more. It's Boruto again. So he goes from a face of relief to confusion, because he doesn't really understand what Kawaki and Boruto are really talking about. So it goes from relief to confusion to realization that, yo, this shit is going crazy. So you can see the stress levels are on his face. He's trying everything he can to stop him. He gets hit with the Gale Palm, and then it goes from stress to straight up like panic mode on his face. Like, you can see the sadness. You can see like, yo, this shit is really happening, and I'm gonna try my hardest, but there's probably nothing I can do. And then it goes from like panic mode to once Kawaki lets the attack rip through Boruto's chest, Naruto's face goes from panic to just like shock and sadness. and it's such a beautiful transition between each of the panels. Like, you can see the build up and the momentum in Naruto's face while we're going through this whole cycle, because those are his sons, you know. He's literally watching one son kill another son. Whether it's for good or for bad, that's something that most parents wouldn't want to see and would want to find a way to try to stop. I haven't seen much media content, not even just anime, media content explore this route into where I haven't seen much media content explore this route, honestly. Like how they're doing it in this chapter, where Naruto is there, and it's not like Naruto's there, right? And he's trying his best to stop it. And then on top of that, Kawaki and Boruto are both on the same side as to, like, all right, yeah, I gotta die, I gotta go. And then on top of that, you have like Shikamaru and Code watching over and seeing what the fuck's going on. And this brings like a whole new level of plot into it, because originally it was, yo, we're gonna take Borishiki, we're gonna feed him to the Nine Tails, and that's that. We're gonna chill. So now I don't know what the fuck that plan is. Like, I don't, like, if I'm Code and I'm watching this, if I'm Ada and I'm watching this, I'm gonna be a little frustrated maybe. But who knows? This shit is crazy, right? Now, that was the end of the chapter after Kawaki landed his attack. He did the whole big ass, I forget, what was his name, Garu? When he was fighting Garu, the dude with the fucking claws or whatever, that attack that goes through his chest and expands crazily, he did that same attack to Boruto to finish him off, kind of. Now, there's a few things interesting, and this is where I go in and say, like I said earlier, I had a few friends read the chapter to see what their thoughts were. There's a few things that were interesting to me. One, when Boruto got hit in the chest, his karma didn't go away. I think that signifies something. If Boruto were to die right there, I don't see why the karma wouldn't go away. Now, we haven't seen anything like this before. Frankly, because Ishiki, like when Jigen evolved to Ishiki, that's how Jigen died, right? So in this scenario, it's just kind of like Boruto just took an attack and died. Now, my friends, well, obviously Boruto's not dead forever, right? Because the flashback says, the flashback shows both Kawaki and Boruto alive, right? So it's not like Boruto's going to be dead forever. I don't think they're going to pull like Magic Dragon Ball type shit, right? Here's my theory is, and I think this is very interesting, and this is something that if implemented properly, could show and convey a real deep story about what Boruto could be going through, right? Because think about it, Boruto, the reason why Boruto wanted to do this, he already attacked Sasuke and took the Rinnegan, and now he almost just killed his own dad, right? So I'm pretty sure in Boruto's head, he's like, all right, I'm a threat, and this shit just gotta be over with, bro. We gotta finish this shit, bro. I can't. Right now he's suicidal. I'll just say it. Right now he's suicidal. He doesn't want to live if that means that there's a potential for him and his family to suffer greatly. So that lesson he learned from Kakashi, when Kakashi pretty much had Boruto on the ground, he said, yo, you got to break your arm, you got to show resolve. Kakashi's really much telling him, yo, sometimes you got to be ready to die for this shit. And this is Boruto showing that he's ready to die for this shit if it means nobody else gets hurt because of him. Like, even if you say, oh, it's not really him, Momoshiki takes over the body, blah, 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 Boruto still has that sense of responsibility. Like, yo, it's because of me. I got to hold this down. And if I got to die in order for my family to be good, that's what I'll do. Now, here is my theory, because we know Boruto doesn't die. And this will be crazy. What if Boruto, with the Byakugan pills, becomes like this immortal being that, you know, if he uses too much power of the karma, it could lead to Momoshiki taking over. But if he sustains damage, he just doesn't die. Like, what if he just regenerates off of this and there's not an issue? Do you know how, like, so I can see some people saying, oh, that'll be bullshit, but tie it into the story. We have a young kid who at any point can turn into a monster and demolish the whole world. And he's not even able to kill himself to stop it. He's not even able to show resolve in terms of like, yo, I'm willing to die for this shit. That would be a very interesting story that they could write in a way to where it shows a lot of Boruto's pain and trials throughout life beyond this point, because this is a vocal point, obviously. Like, this is a main plot point of the show, right? Of the manga series. Him getting stabbed in his chest like this. So when we get to, I say, here's my guess to what I say what's going to happen. Once we get to, that first scene that we've all seen, right? The episode 1, chapter 1, Boruto versus Kawaki, right? When Kawaki's saying, I'll send you to where I'll send Lord Seventh, I think that's blatant. He sealed Lord Seventh for protection. I think that's blatant now. But after seeing this and seeing that Kawaki attempted to kill Boruto to already help him, I think he wants to seal him for a last resort. Like, all right, we have to seal this nigga so that way he's not going too crazy on the world. Now, Boruto seemed in that fight seemed to be against what Kawaki wanted to do. Which I thought was interesting. I don't really have an explanation for that as of right now, because from what I'm seeing right now out of this chapter, Boruto and Kawaki are both on the same page of this shit has to stop right here. So, and if I'm looking at the story correctly, Kawaki still kind of shares that same sentiment. He's like, yo, I kind of just want to keep Lord Seventh safe and continue on with life. And for Boruto to be there to try to stop Kawaki, even though they're on the same page now, I mean, I can only see two things. I can see it as one, Kawaki's like, all right, I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to seal Boruto, and we're going to make massive changes to the, because he says, who said it? I forget who says it. Somebody says the age of shinobi is over. Like, this shinobi world is not it anymore. It's a new era. So I can either see Kawaki, seeing that, yo, all this shit is fucked up and we got to stop it right here and start from square one, and I'm going to keep Naruto and Boruto safe because they my family. I'm not letting anything bad happen to them. I can see that being it, or I can see, because we see right now Ada, a few chapters ago, Ada, once she saw Boruto, she started calling him cute, started simping over the nigga, man, started wanting to put a titty in his face or whatever. So I can see Ada, if Ada, not to say, because Ada's ability won't work on Boruto, right? But if Ada can kind of manipulate a little bit, just a little bit, getting Boruto ahead, because at the end of the day, he's 12, right? You can still manipulate a young kid, right? So if Ada gets in there and manipulates a little bit, gets Boruto a little bit out of his character zone, right? I mean, he's already gone through something traumatic. If he lives through this, I can see Boruto feeling like, yo, this is the end. Like, so if Ada can say something along the lines of, yo, I may be able to figure out a way to get that karma off of you, then I can see Boruto going along with it, and Kawaki seeing Boruto go along with it. Kawaki would be along the lines of, "Yo, Ada's not good news. You know, if Ada gets what she wants out of the situation, the world is over. So I gotta seal Boruto right here, right now." And it's not that Boruto is evil. It's not that Boruto would want. It's not that Boruto would want any issues. It's not that Boruto would want to destroy the world. It's just that Boruto, I can see it in the sense of Boruto's fighting Kawaki right there. Just Boruto is not searching for Kawaki in that first scene. It's Kawaki who's searching for Boruto. Kawaki called Boruto, and Boruto's like, "All right, I gotta fight to get ready to get out of this shit because I want this karma off me." And Kawaki's kind of like, "Yo, if we go down that route, it's gonna be game over." That's how I feel. That's what I think's happening. I think from in the first scene, Kawaki wants to just protect Boruto and not let Ada or Amato or Code or whoever is going to be that's manipulating Boruto. It might be Momoshiki. Whoever is going to be manipulating Boruto, I think we're going to see Kawaki try to take Boruto out of that situation. But if you take Boruto out of the situation, that may lead to the destruction of the ninja world, where Boruto may necessarily not want that. Like, Boruto may try to figure out another way, but it's going to be a conflict of interest there, because Kawaki's going to know, yo, whoever's manipulating you is not for the benefit of everyone else. I think they're setting it up for a big lose-lose situation, which is beautiful. I've never, like I said, I've never read or watched anything written kind of like this. I think they have a very, I think Kishimoto, ever since Kishimoto took over writing for the Boruto manga, I think he set down a great pathways for the story to continue. I do have a few questions. Number one, who's in the pod? I think it's Neji. Number two, where the fuck is Sasuke? Sasuke wasn't far, bro. It's not like he was away from the village. So I don't see how he's not fast enough to pull up and see what's going on. So that's number two. We're gonna see where Sasuke's at, right? Number three, when will Boruto start using his Jogan? I think this hole in the chest will help that out a lot. I think Momoshiki told Boruto, yo, this eye will be the reason why, your family sees destruction. Whatever he said. Whatever evil shit that he said, right? He pretty much said his eye was a curse. And he only said that after Boruto activated the Jogan and hit the nigga with the Sengan, right? So I can see a scenario where the Jogan is the reason why he lives through this hole in his chest. So that's why it's a curse, and it's going to keep him alive. So that's why it's a curse. But it's also going to be the reason that eventually Boruto figures out what's going on and breaks his curse, and the eye will eventually become a gift. I think that's what they're going to do with that part of the story. I think his eyes finna form soon as a curse right here, keeping him alive, because you got to remember, Boruto probably wants to be dead. He's suicidal. Not even wants to be dead, but he doesn't want to be the reason why his friends die. So he's willing to die for that. Yeah, that's a lot, man. This shit's a lot. What time is it, man? I've been going on for a little bit. This was just kind of a ramble, but this was a really good chapter. Like, I had to get some of my thoughts and emotions and opinions of it out. Like I said, I think Kishimoto has laid out a blueprint that will be effective for him to continue the story and do some shit that we've rarely seen in anime, which is interesting because you got a lot of shows out that try to copy Naruto. You know, everybody wants to be the best. Whatever the best thing is in their show, that's what everybody wants to be, right? So they try to copy that Naruto One Piece blueprint, and it's good to see, like, even Naruto, even the Boruto story now, it's very much different. Like, it doesn't follow the normal anime tropes of like, Boruto doesn't want to be the Hokage. He doesn't want to be the best in the village. He just wants to be the reason why his friends aren't dying, which to me is very deep. It's kind of reminiscent of Bleach a little bit. When Ichigo was fighting Urukiora, and the Vastolorde form came out and started taking over and beating the shit out of Urukiora. And then Uryu's try to step through and be like, yo, Ichigo, this ain't you. And then Ichigo, the Vastolorde form, Ichigo turned and almost hurt Uryu. Like, almost killed him. So, to me, it's kind of, this story, it seems like it's kind of building on what that kind of started. Because I thought that was an interesting plot point in Bleach as well. They just kind of ignored it because they went from that Vastolorde fight to Ichigo pretty much having to deal with Aizen. So it was kind of rushed. It wasn't fleshed out properly. I mean, they did kind of explain, and they did let Ichigo battle his Getsuga. No, that's the name of the move. What's his name of his sword? Y'all know, Zangetsu. They did let Ichigo battle Zangetsu and learn a little bit more about his sword. Learn why Ichigo, when he turned into the Vastolorde form, he kind of went berserk and stuff like that. This ain't a Bleach video, so I'm not gonna spoil nothing. But I personally feel like the way that Boruto's writing the story, it allows way more room for us to see Boruto deal with these trials and tribulations of the potential of hurting your friends, right? Because he was ready to pop the fucking Byakugan pill, whatever that shit's called. He was ready to pop that shit ASAP. And it didn't work. You know, it didn't really work as hoped for. So now that the pill didn't work, it was just kind of like, all right, I gotta die. So I think like I said, they could do something with this. But that's all I really got. You know, y'all know, if y'all subscribe to me, I make videos about whatever I want to talk about. So I don't know what my next video is gonna be. I might actually record another one after this, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of tired. But I do appreciate everybody. If you made it this far, please leave a like. Comment what you think is going to happen in the continuation of Boruto. Do you think that Kawaki is going to become evil, or do you think it's just going to be a simple conflict of interest, and, you know, because they're ninja, they gotta fight, right? But there's a conflict of interest, and we're going to see Boruto be suicidal as fuck and like do some crazy shit. That's the other thing. I think Boruto's going to really take extreme risk if he knows that he can't die, and that's going to leave room for a lot of crazy shit to happen in the story of Boruto, which could be a gift and a curse. But we're going to see. My name's Almighty Low, LowXLow, YouTube, Twitter, LowXLow. Please leave a like if you made it this far. Please comment what you think's going to happen with Boruto in the future. I do appreciate you for listening, and goodbye.